Entertainment has always had a fascination with angels, demons, vampires, and all things supernatural. How should Christians respond to this type of entertainment? I met with professor, author, and filmmaker John Bucher to discuss this very topic.
I saw a lot of vampires. Not literal vampires, but vampires showing up in the media, vampires beginning to rise in the media, if you will. Why are vampires all of a sudden becoming so popular, and is there any connection to our faith?
And that connection is the premise of his new book, There's Power in the Blood.
Areas of interest in the supernatural that deal with immortality have special place in the hearts of human beings, because all of us will face death one day. I have a faith that the Bible tells me that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. However, I don't know for sure exactly how that works or what that looks like. And deep down, all of us wonder, what is that experience like? Oftentimes, vampires are metaphors for us. They're metaphors for our fears as people. One of the greatest difficulties that vampires in literature face when they have relationships with humans is knowing that those humans will one day die, that they will experience loss. We as people face that same tension. If I have a relationship with someone, I know that at some point, one of the two of us will die first. I will lose that person, or they will lose me. People have a deep fear of losing the people that they care about.
It's obvious through our Christian faith that blood has always been the pathway between God and man. In modern cinema, we see vampires, and blood is a major aspect of it. Do you think there's some type of correlation between those two?
Before I knew Christ, I was walking around like the living dead. And God entered my life. He was that life force. I live differently now. But even with a vampire, it's not enough to just have that feeding of blood just once. Same with my faith. I need to constantly be going back to God and tapping into that life force that He gives in order to not grow weak myself.
How can Christians use these type of movies, to witness, to share their faith? Or should they even try to at all?
I don't believe that Christ needs a gimmick to bring people to Himself. I do believe that the things in our lives that we experience on a day-to-day, the television shows we watch, the films that we watch, the books that we read, provide natural conversations for us to talk about what we believe. It seems to me that these films and these stories are a perfect setup for the introduction of a Savior.